So often I get asked about the subscap muscle, which is underneath your armpit, and it's on the anterior part of your shoulder blade facing your ribs. So it's a really tough one to get at, right? If you've had a therapist, they might dig into the armpit, they might reach underneath your armpit from the back. There's a couple different ways you can get it. One of the hardest things to release on your own, unless you have really kind of like winged scaps and you can kind of get in there and you can find the pressure point. But even then, it's hard to keep this pressure point for long enough to feel the release. So you can always leave that release up to your NKT practitioner or your fascial therapist. But I love this stretch that I learned from Move You on Instagram. So you're grabbing I just have a lot of broom poles laying around for stretches. So you're gonna grab the broom pole like this, and it's on the back of your shoulder like so. And you're going to grab it, and you can see how I'm reaching. Okay, you can reach up higher. The higher you reach, the more of a stretch you're going to feel. You do not want to feel any pain or discomfort in the back of your shoulder. Okay, so you just want to feel like a stretch. I'm just going to pin this here, a stretch in through here. No pain in here. Okay, if there is, you might have to just change where you're holding it. Okay, but you can see how I'm taking it on the back of my shoulder, pinning it, and then I'm kind of pulling. Okay, you can't tell that I'm doing this, but I'm pulling it away from my body this way. So I'm pulling the bottom forward and kind of pushing my elbow away from my body. And I'm going to breathe. I'm going to try and relax, because a stretch isn't going to work if we're like fidgeting around all the time or if we're not breathing. So you want to make sure you're continually breathing and assessing what that muscle or joint or ligament feels like. It's not getting worse. It's not getting tighter. You should be feeling it getting relaxed and better. Okay. So after 30 seconds to a minute, that's kind of like 30 seconds is the minimum you should hold a stretch for. 5 minutes is a max. And you're kind of leaning in when you're really trying to release a problem area. Give it the time it needs. So right now, my hands feel a little bit numb, and they will, because my hand is like back and I'm probably like pinching on a little bit of a nerve that will go away when I release. But the discomfort that I'm looking for and giving it a number is the one that I initially felt in here and a little bit in through here when I started the stretch. And now I don't feel anything there other than a little bit of tingling in my hand. That is when I'm going to be done. And I'm just going to move my shoulder around a little bit, whether you do circumduction like this, whether you do rotation like this, or some shoulder movements like this. Okay, just to get the blood flow back and to tell your body that it's under no attack. When our body feels pain for a certain amount of time, it will trigger a nociceptor in the brain and tell us that we're in pain, and that's when we start making compensation patterns in our central nervous system. So we want to be aware of that. We want to make sure that we're always telling our body and assessing and making sure that it's okay.